We take this opportunity on Cody Butler Day to bring in the head coach for Southeastern, the number one team in the nation, Coach Adrian Dinkell. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Matt. How are you?
I'm sure you're in between pregame meals and BP and getting ready to take on Florida Memorial. So I know you're really busy today. And so I greatly appreciate taking time. That means the world to us here at GGC. And so on Cody Butler Day, I want you to take me back to maybe one of the first interactions that you had when you see a Twitter account pop up, say at NAI Ball. What was your reaction or what were you thinking?
First of all, it was, well, what is this? And wow, this could be amazing because I've been doing this. I've been in the NAI since 2005. Now I've had to stop in there with some junior college baseball, but I've been coaching, playing multiple different stops in the NAI. And you were like, instead of always getting on there digging for stuff, I was like, man, this is going to be amazing because it's kind of what he said right out the gate. I'm going to get your one-stop shop. I was like, this is going to be unbelievable. And I was hoping it would grow, but so many people try things and they just never finish it. And obviously he did an unbelievable job finishing it.
What was your relationship with him and how did you comprehend this is a kid with a Twitter account trying to cover our sport from Georgia? How is that going to affect my program down here in Florida?
And honestly, it wasn't even the effect that how was he going to affect my program. It was just more that I was thankful that someone was taking the time out of their day to do the research and the stuff that he did. And our relationship was just further along that. I mean, we talked just the late night text that I'd get at 1 o'clock in the morning. Right. And so he was my friend outside of that, but we just built the relationship there. But I just really thought, I was like, man, what is this young dude doing? Putting this much time in? Is he getting paid? Like, what's his end game? And then you come to find out his end game was just to serve others.
And so we are so happy and proud of what Cody has accomplished and what it's grown to with the podcast. And so being able to honor him today and having you aboard really highlights the impact that the person Cody Butler has had on other people. So take me to a story that you have of how Cody has impacted you and your guys' relationship and through our little community of NAI baseball.
I mean, I think he impacted me more than just one story. I think he impacted me just as my friend. And my assistant coach Mike was close with him as well. And I think that it was just the conversations of, he would reach out if he ever needed stuff. He really would. I mean, there was a lot of times that he reached out besides this NAI ball things that we would just chat and talk outside of that stuff. And it was along the line sometimes when he'd get frustrated and sometimes when he would have questions. I think our relationship would be turned from more the professional side to actually caring about one another. And I think my circle, with Jeff Moyer and Mike Mendoza and all those guys that got to know each other really well, were small enough that I think our friendship with group chats. And if you guys don't know, Cody had many group chats, and I would end up in all of them. So, but the relationship was just the type of person he was. I mean, he really was. And when I tell you, he was an unbelievable person that never really, for me, just really didn't judge a lot of people. When I get frustrated about some things, whether it was in the rankings or anything else, he was kind of always the level head, believe it or not. It was always with me. He was always the level head. Traditionally, that wasn't Cody. But for me, he was that level head. You'd hear it from the other side. But for me, I'm like, man, this guy, it was just easy for me to go to and, hey, tell me what you see here. And as you guys don't know, I'm on the committee, and you get some information that you had no idea about, that you just didn't dig so deep. And I thought I had a lot of information that Cody would throw at you. You'd be like, wow, I did not know that. So it was just, he was a resource, but he was honestly just a better friend.
Yeah, and so we continue the celebration here today in Lawrenceville. Glad to have you here all the way from Lakeland, Florida. Um, Coach, as you guys get ready to go throughout your season, has a moment occurred for you where you just go, man, my phone used to light up and it used to say Cody Butler and it just doesn't anymore. How have you dealt with that?
It's every week, to be honest with you. It's every week because and I know, Robbie's does the best he can. He's got his family stuff going on. Connor's doing the best he can, but it's just not the same, right? It's just not the same. This is the same guy that had every information. You got a lot of information that you had with him. And it was, every time you look at it, you're like, are they going to catch up? But then because people don't realize till now how much work Cody put into this thing. That a lot of us just don't have time to do. And so said it forever, man. 20 years of doing this, he's done probably more for NAIA baseball than anybody I've met, and by far. I mean, I don't know if anybody's done more for the game than he has. He's grown it. Majority of my friends that are athletic directors or my friends that are in Division I baseball, that's the account they follow to know what we're doing. They don't check our website. They don't check our Twitter. They check NAIA ball to check what we're doing.
And so a pretty special, pretty emotional day. Coach, once again, appreciate you joining us here. Good luck this weekend versus Florida Memorial. And will I see you at the World Series this year?
The Fuego got a long way to go, my man.
Well, Coach, I always enjoy our time together, and it's always a great game when the Grizzlies and the Fire to get together. And so we're looking forward to that whenever that may be.
Yes, sir, Matt. I appreciate your time, man. Thank you guys for doing everything you can for Cody and his family. You've been an unbelievable guy.
Yep, awesome. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Matt. See you, brother.